Hello dudes and welcome to another episode of Play to Earn Gaming. In the video of today, we'll be covering the game that has been generating more heat within the community. We'll be covering the game that saved from hunger many players around the globe with its Play to Earn system. Today we'll be covering Axie Infinity and we're going to do it in 5 chapters. First, gameplay. Here we're going to see the battle mechanics and how do they feel to the player. Second, graphics. Third, content. Here we're going to see which activities can you do besides killing monsters and battling other players. Fourth, play to earn. Here we're going to see how much cryptocurrency can you make while playing Axie Infinity. 5, future potential. Here we're going to see what are the odds of Axie Infinity succeeding in the future. So dudes, hold on to your chairs, we have lots of ground to cover. Axie Infinity, let's get started. We are inside player versus player, and the 3 Axies on the left, they make up my Axie team. So how do you play? Well, very easy. This is a card game, but a very typical card game. So I select the cards I want to play and I press end turn. Now all I do is I wait and I cheer for my Axies. So I hope you guys out there are cheering for my Axie team. Now, each group of cards, as you can see here, is linked with an Axie. So for example, this group of cards here are the moves that a blue Axie is going to be able to do in this turn. So here you can see here the picture of the dude. Then this group of cards, the yellow one, and so on. Now each card has a number of attack points, shield points, energy cost, and it also has an effect. So attack points is pretty much self-explanatory. It's the damage that the Axie can do on the other team. Then shield points is a damage that the Axie can absorb before his health is affected. Energy cost, well, I can just play all the cards because I have here a limited amount of energy. Okay, so I have to do energy management. And I get 2 energy every round. But then there's cards whose effect is to steal energy from the other team or to gain energy. So if I select one of the Axies, I can see everything, his moves. So attack points are represented by the sword, then shield points, energy cost, and the effect that this card does. For example, Night Steal, if I combine it with another card, it's going to steal 1 energy from the opponents. Okay, so this is a very good system that makes up for a huge amount of strategies and team setups. You know, it's like you have 3 Axies, just imagine, you can combine these 3 Axies in so many ways, so this makes up for so many team setups and strategies and play styles, because then different players, of course, they have different play styles. For example, I'm more of an aggressive player, so I usually spend all my energy in every round and I use all the cards that I have available, all my available resources early to put lots of pressure on the other player. But there's players that they're more like combo based, you know. So, but then there's also play styles where players have a bunch of cards that steal energy and destroy the opponent's cards. So this playstyle kind of counters this combo playstyle, you know. So there's like team setups that counter other team setups, playstyles that counter other playstyles, and I can tell it's a really good battle system. Okay, and I'm getting my ass kicked here. You guys aren't cheering for me, dudes. Let's see how it goes. You guys aren't cheering for me. I'm getting my ass kicked really hard. So this somehow reminds me of, you know, old Final Fantasy games, but with more elements, you know, even more elements. You know, the old school like Final Fantasy 9, where they're like turn-based. That's what this game reminds me of. Then another thing you should know is that Axies have stats. Each Axie has a amount of stats. Okay, so if I select it, it has health, speed, skill, and morale. Then speed determines the order in which each Axie is going to attack. For example, this Axie has more speed than this Axie, so I'm going to be the first one to attack in the next round. So let's see what is going to happen. I'm not sure I'm gonna make it. And then, yeah, of course, there's cards that destroy your speed or lower your speed. You know, so these are very, very strong cards, yeah, and I'm getting my ass kicked. So, well, maybe... No, I'm not gonna make a draw. It's gonna just die. Well, too bad. Better luck next time. So this makes up for the battle system, which is very smart and well made. The first time I heard about Axie Infinity, I went into YouTube and I typed Axie Infinity gameplay just to check how the game is, you know. And I saw this and I was like, Jesus dude, what the hell? Why are people so hyped about this game? Because this gives you such a bad impression about Axie Infinity. I mean, you look into these graphics and they're really cheap, cartoonish graphics. The background is always the same, either you're in PvP or in PvE, it's always the same. Then the company is saying that this is a Pokemon inspired game, but instead of having badass Pokemons, you have an Axie with a carrot shoved up his ass, man. Then, dude, what the hell are the monsters doing with their arms? I mean, this is sexual content. It's plus 18. I mean, what the hell? Well, graphics of this game really bad and cheap. So now about all the other available activities that you have inside the game. Well, there are not that many. So we already saw the PvP, right? Which is quite good. Then you have the PvE, so we go to adventure. And we have 30 something levels available. Well, when you start you just have one. And then you unlock it as you progress in adventure mode. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Let's pick a random one, start. And I can tell you that PvE, it's not that interesting, okay, because, well, you're not actually playing against other players, so I don't think it's that exciting, well, but that's me. Then another thing is that you only have the 30 something levels, so after a while it gets a bit boring, okay. So I only do it because I am getting SLP, so SLP stands for Small Love Potions. And you get it when you play PvE, when you play PvP, and when you do the daily quest. So the daily quest is very simple, it's always the same. You do a few matches of PvE, you do a few matches of PvP, you check in the game, and then there you go, it's done, and you get some extra SLP. So SLP is used for Axie Breeding, which we're going to check in just a bit, but can also be sold because it's an ERC20 token. So this means that it belongs to the Ethereum ecosystem. So this is one of the ways of earning in the game, and we're also going to cover that in the next chapter. Okay, so I go about to finish these levels. So the levels, adventure levels, they have like different stages. Okay, this one has 3 different stages. And yeah, you finish and then you get some nice amount of SLP. Okay, 6. Now, about Axie Breeding, let's take a look into it. If you guys go to marketplace.axieinfinity.com and you log in with your MetaMask wallets, you can access all the assets you own inside the game. So you go to my account, inventory, and then you can see all your NFTs, because Axies are NFTs. So to breed them, it's very simple. I can just select this dude here. I press breed. Now all I have to do is to find a nice lady for this fellow, which is gonna be this one. Then for a certain amount of SLPs, I press start breeding, and there you go. Love is in the air. Now one thing you should be aware of is that when you breed Axies, you don't get an adult Axie straight away ready for battle. First you get an egg, then the egg goes into petite, and then the petite is morphed into an adult, and between each phase you have to pay Ethereum gas fees. So to breed at the moment is quite expensive. Okay, it's quite the investment. Then besides breeding, you also have access to the marketplace where you can buy and sell Axies. To sell an Axie you also have to pay a fee to place it on the marketplace. Okay, and when you're starting to play, if you don't have your Axie team yet, this is one of the places where you can get it. Okay, then besides this, you can also buy land plots. So land plots at the moment they do nothing because there's still no map. But in the future, the whole game is gonna happen inside one big map, and inside this big map you can own your own land plot and build there whatever you want. And by the way, land plots are also NFTs. Time to talk about the earning potential of Axie Infinity. So you guys already know that when you breed Axies, then you can sell the offspring in the marketplace, and that's one way of earning in the game. Now you also know that when you finish the daily quest or when you win battles, you get a certain amount of SLP. SLP, which is an ERC20 token and is listed in a few exchanges like Uniswap or Binance. Now, one SLP is at the price of 6 cents of a dollar, and I know that's nothing, right? But we have to consider that when you get SLP, you're getting like 10, and when you finish the daily quest, you're getting like 50. Okay, so you can just get this currency inside the game and then trade it for fiat in one of these exchanges. Now, I can tell you that in 1 hour, 1 hour and a half of gameplay, I'm getting like 200 SLP per day. So let's check how much that is. That's $13.50. Let's check how much that is in 1 month. So 13.5 per 30. Dudes, that's $400 just for playing a video game in 1 month. Now, another token you should be aware of is the AXS, which is the Axie Infinity token. How do you get this? Well, in Axie Infinity, there's a PvP leaderboard. When you win matches, you go up. When you lose, you go down. Now, for the top 200 players, so you can press there and you check your current position. If you finish the season in top 200, you're getting a certain amount of AXS. So let's imagine you stay in top 200. That's 22. Because the AXS you get inside the game is divided by 1000. Okay, so this is not 22,000, it's 22. Okay, so let's check how much that is just for top 200. Of course, then if you go up, if you get like top 100, that's even more AXS. Okay, so if you get top 200 at the end of the season, you're getting 150 extra dollars. So that's quite a lot for playing a video game. Now, I'm not gonna lie, of course this takes time. You're not gonna get like top 200. If you started now, you're not gonna get top 200 next week. This takes time and dedication to learn the PvP, the mechanics, the playstyles. Okay, but eventually you can get there too. Another thing you should be aware of is that AXS a few months ago was like a few cents. So you can see here in the beginning of February, it was at 90 cents of a dollar, and now it's almost at $7. So well, I'm not a technical analysis expert, but I do think that this is really bullish. We just saw that Axie Infinity is a kick-ass game when it comes to earning. Now, Axie Infinity is not the only game out there, because play to earn is a world, is an industry that is just getting started, but it is already big. So if you wanna keep updated about all the games with some earning potential, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Axie Infinity has a few downsides, like bad and cheap graphics, lack of content, and the huge barrier of having to invest $200 to $300 just to get started with an Axie team. Now, about this last one, this is gonna stop being a problem because the team already mentioned that in a future update, you're going to have free Axies. Then, on the other hand, you have the best and strongest play-to-earn component that there is in a game. Plus, AXS staking is gonna be a reality soon, so even another way of earning inside the game. Then we're going to have Ronin. So Ronin is a sidechain, and what this sidechain is going to do is to lower the cost of transactions. So Axie Breeding, Axie Trading, land trading, this is all going to be very, very cheap. Then you have a very smart battle system. I mean, dudes, just imagine the amount of factors that you have to consider when you're trying to outsmart your opponent. It's the battle order, the stats of your axes, the cards you have available, the energy costs. I mean, there's just so many things and it's so complex that it's a really good battle system. Then Axie Infinity also won some awards and I'm going to check that. Play2Earn.online, Blockchain Game of the Year, #1 Axie Infinity. Supportive Community, #1 Axie Infinity. Best Integrated Economy, #1 Axie Infinity. Now about land gameplay, this is how the game is gonna look in the future. To me, this reminds me of old school Pokemon games. Do you remember the ones in Game Boy Color? Well, maybe you're not that old, but I do think that it's gonna trigger this nostalgia in many players. Now, about the bad and cheap graphics, the team already has an update in mind. So, we're still gonna have the same boring background, we're still gonna have the Axie with the carrot shoved up his ass, but we're gonna get prettier cards and a prettier interface. Now, if you go to play2earn.net, there you go, Axie Infinity #2. And I do think that Lost Relic is only #1 because there's an event going on at the moment, because usually Axie Infinity is always in #1. And by the way, did you see the video about Lost Relics? If not, go check it out right here in the corner of the screen. Now some funny thing, there's dudes doing tattoos of Axies in their own bodies. So this is a big trend, guys. And what I can tell you is that Axie Infinity is in the top, and all I see at the moment is Axie Infinity, Axie Infinity, Axie Infinity everywhere. So the game is in the top and there's high chances that it's going to stay just like this. We have arrived at the end of our video, and I must tell you, I didn't cover quite everything because the game is too big and there's just too many details to be covered in just one video. But I do think that we have a pretty good idea now about the Axie world. Now, we know that Axie Infinity is not finished and there's not that much content. So it is a game I do recommend to play very casually, because I do think that the only interesting feature is the player versus player, where you have to outsmart your opponent. But from the earning perspective, that's a different story. We saw that this game has a very strong play to earn. We saw how bullish the AXS is at the markets, and we saw the land plots that are being sold at a price 10 times higher than the original price. So everything is bullish in this game, dudes. And I do recommend that you get inside Axie Infinity as soon as possible. If you still don't have your Axie team, wait a bit until Axies are migrated into the Ronin sidechain. Because if you wait a bit, then you'll save some money on the Ethereum gas fees. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any question, leave a comment with your question down below. Now, if you want to know about more games that can add some crypto into your portfolios, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you're always updated. Dudes, I'm telling you, play to earn is the future of gaming. Play to earn is here to stay. So see you dudes in the next video.